Hospital porters, pride and dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Panwo TV. And welcome to this rather unusual video because normally at the end of this introductory scene I would cut to some kind of studio explanation shot where I show you like some screenshots of a website or something like that, saying, well, this is where I'm going, this is it, and blah blah blah, would you like to come with me? I'm not going to do that this time because this is unusually not the kind of journey where I do that. It's a kind of journey I haven't done for many years. In fact, I can't remember. I think it might have been when I went to Australia in 2000. It's not a working trip. It's no conference. I'm not speaking anywhere. I'm not visiting a girl. I'm not visiting a girlfriend because I haven't got one anymore. I'm going simply on holiday. Well, I say that. It's not, you know, you can never, people like me never go completely just on holiday. Never. We never go somewhere just to lie on sun lounges on beaches and drink Malibu out of coconut shells. People like me just don't do that sort of thing. I'm actually going to the Isle of Man. This is a place I've never been before. It's actually quite a remote island, but quite a large island in the Irish Sea. If you're not familiar with it, you can look it up on your atlases. Never been there before. Looking forward to it enormously. And I'm going with the Lapis crew. But well, basically, it's not just Lapis. Janet and Paul from Lapis are going, but there's other people as well. There's the fiddlers. That's their name, Ben and Gail Fiddler. Jackie, Richard Freeman, and Jackie Tonks, and maybe a couple of others, I think, are going. I don't know exactly everyone who's going. I just know those guys are going. And so it is kind of a working trip, as you'll see, because I'll be doing a reportage. But it's going to be a long trip. I'm going to be away for 9 days. I haven't been away that long, literally since I had a girlfriend and used to go and visit her. And even then I was kind of online. I could get online and things like that. I won't have time to do that this time. This is like third time lucky for me, because I've been meaning to do this for like since, well, the first time this trip was arranged was back in 2020, where this group had arranged to go to the Isle of Man. They had to cancel it because, for obvious reasons, the good old C word. Then it was going to be done again and of course it was off for the entire lockdown. Then the year before, they were going to arrange it, 2021, and the Isle of Man was under quarantine, which meant if you want to get it in there, you needed the old V-word passport and all these other big brother things. You know what I think of those. So I had to turn it down. I had to refuse to go. This year's different. You can actually get onto the Isle of Man. Like many other places, these restrictions have been lifted. And so I'm heading there now, and this is Oxford Station. I've got to go and get my train in a minute. So, would you care to accompany me? I've got to go to Gloucester. That's the first stage of this journey. I'm going by train. It was only a couple of days ago. I was actually on another train, although you probably haven't seen that video yet. I've got to meet up with some friends, and we're going to travel together from there. Look, well, I've made it to Gloucester Station. I'm just waiting for my friends Richard and Jackie to turn up, and then the adventure begins proper. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in a car now. I'm in my car with my friends Jackie and Richard, and then you saw by that sign we're actually getting quite close to Kiel services. Now, this area is infamous in the conspirasphere because this is where Sabina and Ursula Eriksson, two twins from Sweden, we don't know the exact spot. We know they were walking down the central reservation, but they had a little bit of a episode. We don't know exactly what caused it. There's several theories, and they decided to take a little walk along the motorway, which resulted in terrible injuries and then eventually crimes. And this is where it all happened. Actually, I don't know the exact spot. On the way back, I'm hoping we will go in and visit this place. I mean, it's a service station, you know. When you've seen one, you've seen them all. But there may be a couple of clues that could enlighten us. It's possible of what actually happened and why. And somewhere along here, I can't remember if it's southbound or northbound. This is where they were captured by the police. So we'll let you know more on the way back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now you may be a little bit familiar with what we're going to see in a minute. Well, you probably won't see much from where we are, but we're going over the big overpass now near Warrington, which is quite well known. But in a minute we're going to be going past junction 21. And those of you who remember, thanks very much, Jackie. Those of you who remember Weird Weekend North and my little reportage will know that, of course, I was staying at the Premier Inn just by here, and look, we're going over this. We're about to go past the bridge now, and I was going over this bridge between the venue at Rixton with Glazebrook and the Premier Inn, junction 21, M6 here. So you'll see it now. You'll see it in a moment, and we're seeing it from the other side now. There it is. There's the bridge I crossed over. I know it's not much to look at because, well, one bridge is much like another and I'm on the motorway, but it just, I thought you'd find that amusing that I'm back in the same place a few months later, but I'm now on the motorway, so yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Morecambe. This is a place I've never been before, but I'm here now, and I'll tell you what, I've literally only got here, and it's got the sweetest, most rich atmosphere that I know of. I mean, it's really lovely. It reminds me of St Anne's. It's not like St Anne's, of course, but look, you have to see here, the landscape is a lot more hilly. I mean, that's the Lake District over there. This is Morecambe Bay. But look at it, we're staying at the Crown Hotel. I just wanted to get a look at the sky and the mountains in the distance. It's just, never been here before. I'm glad I have. I'll show you a bit more of it later. I don't want to show you too much though, because this video is about the Isle of Man and I don't want it to be like 10 hours long. So I might not show too much of it, but basically I'll show you as much of this little town as I can. We're only staying overnight. We're staying one night and we're leaving in the morning. So I might not be able to show you too much, but I will. I'll let you know as much about it as I can. But here we are. This is the place we're staying, the Crown Hotel. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday morning. This is Morecambe, and this is the view out of my hotel bedroom window, which is not really very spectacular unless you're into roof contracting. But Richard and I have been staying in this room here, and it's actually very comfortable. I slept very well last night. I'm not going to do my usual hotel room tour because we need to get over to the Isle of Man, and that's going to be the focus of this particular video. Had a lovely breakfast, and then we've got to make our way down to the harbour at Heysham, to get the ferry over to the Isle of Man. Well, here we are at Morecambe. It's Tuesday morning, as I said earlier, and we're just leaving the hotel now. We feel we're going to move in with all the luggage we got, but it's enough to keep us going for 8 days. As I said, this is a lovely town. Just look at the view there across Morecambe Bay, and I'd love to come back here and spend more time in this town, but right now I've got to get to the Isle of Man. Wow, look at this. Ladles and jelly spoons, welcome to Heysham. And that there is the Steam Packet Company, the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company, which is a wonderful name. It's a wonderful name for a ferry company. Now, the people who read her Panmo Voice, which not many of you, will know that I got spam decks for Steam Packet because I was looking up Isle of Man ferry trips, because I had an idea to come to the Isle of Man before I got in touch with my friends here I'm going with. And so now we're at the Heysham terminal, and we're going to go across the Isle of Man. Now, we're coming back via Liverpool, so we're going to have a new experience when we come back, which I think is a slightly longer voyage as well, which would be nice. I'm just going to go across and have a look at the terminal building. And that there, I think, is our ship. I know technically they call it a boat, but you know, it's a bit too big to be called a boat. You see the Manx flag up there flying on the mast. And I'm just going to go over to have a look at the building. And Heysham, there we are. Welcome to Heysham, Isle of Man Steam Packet Company. Ticket office, passenger lounge. I know they do, yeah. Foot passengers check-in, cafeteria, toilets. And here we are, gateway to the Isle of Man. And that there Mongoose and Man, and that is actually Manx, which is it's a Q Celtic language spoken on the Isle of Man, but I think it died out, but it's been revived. So it's related to Welsh, so I maybe recognised a few words. And Ricardo has gone in there already to have a look around, so I'll be doing that too. I'm not going to film in there, but I'm just going to have another look this way. This is actually the terminal area. There's a lot of cargo as well. This ship, I think, is both passenger and freight, rather like the RMS, if you are familiar with my St. Helena videos. And here, this is where the cars go. Foot passengers go that way. Passengers and their luggage are, what's that say, liable to be searched prior to embarkation. Oh my goodness me. They want to make sure that we take in any contraband items onto the Isle of Man. Yeah. It's worth bearing in mind, contrary to popular belief, the Isle of Man is not part of the UK. People actually say it's like, it must be its own county. It's not a county, it's actually a crown dependency. So like Gibraltar or the Channel Islands, it is actually independent. It's politically independent from the UK, though it has King Charles as its head of state, the old reptilian in Buckingham Palace. So he's called the Lord of Man. He's not called the King on the Isle of Man. And then you go in there, you can see. I think this is where we're going to go in on our cars. And as Jackie told me, there's a very steep slope leading up there, which you can see there. So, and through these little windows here, you can just see the ship where we board. We had a better view of it earlier on, but I couldn't really get my camera, bring my camera to bear. We just got to find out where we check in now. And you see, look, there's a ship's bridge up there. You can just see where the captain steers the ship. There's the funnel. It's quite a large vessel, actually. I think it's only about a 2-hour voyage or something. It's not very long, but it's a large ship. I'm looking forward to get on board. Now, I was actually trying to think to myself, when was the last time I took a sea voyage? Because I love the ships. I love ships and the sea. It's one of my great passions. I always wanted to be a sailor. I did Royal Navy training for 3 months when I was a kid. When I was 18, I had ideas about becoming a merchant sailor, things like that. I ended up as a hospital porter, but so who's complaining? But I've always loved ships and the sea. I've always, one of the things I love doing, I mean, because I did a lot of travelling by sea because my mother was a Dutch woman, and when I was a kid, every school holiday we'd go and spend the school holidays with the family in the Netherlands, which means going over the sea from Hamilton to Hook of Holland, a very, very old ferry. And I was trying to think to myself, when did I last do a sea voyage? And believe it or not, it was sometime in the 90s. It was either the last time I went to see my Dutch family, which is round about then, when I we sort of drifted apart and I didn't go back, or it was when I went to the Isle of Wight with Barry, my friend who died. You know, my friend from the hospital, the guy who died last year. Actually, I can't tell which it was. I can't remember which it was, but it's been a long time since I did a sea voyage. And so I'm looking very much forward to doing another one again. I'm in the passenger lounge now. Sorry, I'm going to film in here. There is a motorbike from the TT races there. There's a period in the summer where Isle of Man has turned into a giant motor racing circuit for motorbikes. It's very good. They go along the roads and everything. And then we see, it says here, look, that's the TT race on the Isle of Man. And there's a wonderful painting there. Do you see that? It's very good. Steam Packet Company, Manx, man. Very good, isn't it? Now, right next to the Steam Packet Terminal is Heysham Power Station. Now that is nuclear. That's a nuclear power station in there. So yeah, I can just see Mr. Burns is poking his head up at the top, going, "Excellent." So that's somewhere that's going to have to shut down when they declassify free energy. But you can see like the power lines going across the countryside there. Well, Richard and Jackie, of course, have been in my videos before, so you'll know them.
Hi.
Yeah. This is the check-in booth here for Steam Packet. Now we don't know if there's rumours that we have to show ID here, so I'm checking that my papers are in Ordnung. I've had my passport with me, brought it with me. You don't actually need a passport to enter a Crown dependency from the UK. So if you fly to Gibraltar, it's exactly the same. But just in case, you know. Jackie's now going to check us in.
That's all right. So, I mean, you might, once we've got you checked in, because I'll get you up pretty quick, and all you do is go and park down the other end, just down there.
Oh, right.
So at that point you can go to the fence, and if it's going out, obviously you can see it going out.
Oh, cool, that's it. Let's see the departure. Yeah, apparently this is the new Manxman ship. This, the lady here just told us.
It's made in docking.
Right. This is his first docking here. This is actually on sea trials at the moment, so this is actually not the ship we're going to be sailing across the Isle of Man on. This ship is currently in its berth. It'll be leaving its berth soon, put it into sea to make room for the ship we are going over, which is the older one. But you know, I'm sure it'll be very comfortable and nice. I mean, I'm looking forward to it anyway. But maybe in the future, if we go back again, we could travel on this particular ship, which apparently is a little bit faster, so that's a disadvantage. In my view, if the ship's faster, that's a disadvantage because you've got less time to enjoy the voyage. Because I think, like, part of the thing about taking a sea voyage is it's fun. It's not just from getting one place to another. That's why we just get on a plane and fly, if that was the case. So the sea voyage is about having fun on the journey, which means that it shouldn't go. The ship should go quite slow, so it gives us more time. So, well, there you go. That is is it the Manxman 2? Is it?
No, just Manxman.
Just called the Manxman as well. Yeah, it's the new Manxman ship, and hopefully we'll get a chance to watch the departure when it puts to sea later. The place actually is exactly like the Harwich terminal when I used to go to the Netherlands. These lanes where the cars like queue up and then they call you and you go up a kind of a bridge onto you go through there, I think, and it takes you up onto the ferry. There's like a ramp. The ferry's like a big car park. I've got the lower decks of the ferry like a big car park, and all the cars just drive on and they park on the bottom of the ferry, and then at the end they just drive off the other end of the ferry. So now we're just Richard and I are just sort of like hanging around here mooching. And what have you got to do these days, Richard? Anything interesting? Writing books?
Yes, my new book, The Highest Strangeness, is due out any time now. We've just had the illustrations on the cover for it, which is about high strangeness 40 cases involving monsters, ghosts, UFOs and other miscellaneous stuff. So it's got all sorts of bizarre things in. Phantom trees, giant glowing ghost crabs, dragon worship cults, demonic rabbits, modern day sightings of dragons, modern day fairy sightings, all the very weirdest 14 cases.
Oh, good.
And at the minute I'm in the middle of writing a book on man-eating animals, crocodiles, sharks, bears, wolves, you name it. And in a couple of weeks time I'm off to Tajikistan to hunt the gull, the wild man of Tajikistan, for the second time.
Oh, cool. Well, good luck with that, Richard. That sounds just up our street, doesn't it, reader? Reviewers and viewers of Panwo. Because, yeah, apart from the demonic rabbits, I never heard of those before, but all the other things, you know, I'm quite familiar with. So. Demonic rabbits? Are there really demonic rabbits?
Yeah, well, this is my old mate, Peter Laws, who's the horror-obsessed vicar who writes the reviews for 14 Times. He's had 2 encounters with a demonic rabbit.
Oh, good.
And one of which he saw at an abandoned asylum when he was a teenager, and then he saw it again a few years later as a student.
Oh my god. Don't tell me there are blood-drinking baby chicks as well.
Well, there's things weirder than that. There are bipedal dancing cows in one bit. Sort of stuff that's so strange you wouldn't make it up. For example, in South Africa, at the end of the 19th century, there was a poltergeist case, and when it was investigated, when the thing actually manifested, it was a giant glowing crab.
Good grief.
So who's going to make up a ghost story about a ghost crab?
I know, I mean, the world is stranger than not only than we imagine, we can imagine that. But I mean, I heard that there was a mermaid, it was not in South Africa or Zimbabwe, but a mermaid appeared in Zimbabwe, a freshwater mermaid in a river. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, but it's not like the pretty mermaids you find in folklore. This is a grotesque thing, more like one of H.P. Lovecraft's deep ones. It's supposed to eat people's brains.
Yeah, I mean the people, the witnesses were quite convinced. There was even like the local police got involved. It's really quite something. Yeah. So we're just waiting now here at this little spot here. And there's people lining up here. Their cars are lining up. So we're just waiting to go on to board the ferry when we go there. Oh, it's moved. The ferry. Yeah. Oh, we're yapping. The new Manxman has took in the lights and gone. Yeah, it didn't say a word. It didn't sound the whistle or anything. Yeah, just disappearing now. It has to make room in the berth for the ship we're going to travel on. It didn't even blow the whistle or anything. It's just gone.
No, there it's still going.
Yeah,
Slowly there.
you can just see it pulling away there. We missed that. That's a shame. Not to worry. Not to worry.
No, that was fast, wasn't it?
We'll be seeing the new one arrive.
Yeah.
We've seen the new one arrive very soon. So yeah. So yeah, that's that ship. That one's on sea trials at the moment. Hopefully, it'll be in service soon. So next time, if we go across the Isle of Man again, we may well be travelling on that ship. All right. Well, it looks like the Manxman 2, or the new Manxman, is coming back, which is rather unusual. Maybe it seems to be stuck in reverse gear, which is not a good sign for its sea trials. Which means that she may be delayed in entering service quicker than we thought. But anyway, sorry, there she is, and. So now the new boat can't actually board until it gets in its berth. So there you go. So the new boat has to get in a berth after this one has gone. Okay, guys, I think we're boarding. We're now driving on board. We're driving up into this little entrance I showed you earlier. There's a place for the foot passengers. Yeah. What we think happened with the new ship is it simply moved into a different berth. In fact, I think you can see the ship there. Right. You can see through that window there. You just see through the window the ship. That I think is the Manxman 2. We're going to go through there. We may be searched. That'd be interesting to know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's open. Yeah, just open. Yeah. Oh, I'll come with. Oh, right. Okay.
All right. But it looks like we're being searched by security. They want to make sure we're not bringing any contraband into the Isle of Man, you know. Faulty Towers DVDs and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, it's true. There's another load over there, so.
So there we are.
Just give you a quick scan.
Yeah.
What? They're scanning Jackie. That means they can do the same to the rest of us. I suppose they're about to, though, aren't they? Oh dear. At least you don't have the bloody V-word mandates anymore.
Limited edition. The Crocs limited.
But old habits die hard.
Ones. I'm glad I got them. Yeah.
See, there's the Manxman too.
Yeah. You're going to be like the drug dealers, so they just randomly do it. So
Right. I see.
In fact, I went in to Birmingham Art Gallery once, and he said, "Oh no, you look honest. I'm not going to scan you." And I insisted he did. I said, "How do you know I'm not?" I said, "I've got Irish blood. I could be all right." I insisted he did it.
All right.
I said, "You know, you shouldn't be having that attitude." I said, "Because terrorists don't look. They don't look honest."
I suppose they they would just look
said,
like.
Yeah, I insisted he did. I said, "You'd have to just say somebody looks honest."
Oh, I wouldn't get very far, would I? Richard and I would know bald heads, sort of stuff like that, gleaming eyes. Yeah, we would certainly be searched.
Strachan look. Yeah.
Okay, so right now, I mean, we've got there's only one ship in harbour, which is the new Manxman, but we're waiting for another ship. Apparently, it's going to take us to the Isle of Man. This is a different ship, which is the older one. So we're just waiting for that one now, and we just got to just wait here for a little bit longer. But anyway, they randomly scanned some people, but she wanted to search the boot and everything. I mean, I suppose it's fair enough. I mean, the Isle of Man's not in the UK. They're not obliged to let people in. You know, it's self-governing. It's a self-governing crown dependency. Wait now. Can't really get out the car because someone might pull up in the lane beside me. There's that. Oh, that guy there's a Manx number plate. See the Isle of Man number plate. That's what they look like.
They get us a bit close. I just think if somebody rolls back, they just start.
Waiting for the ship to.
I just think if somebody rolls.
Guys, you can probably see this better than I can right now because I can't really turn around very easily. But we're just waiting for the ship to arrive, and there's the Manxman. You can see across the bay there's hills and things. I'll try and get a better view of it in a little while. And here we are. This is the AC's the Manxman. Yet to be commissioned fully. And this is the dock we're going to use, I think. And I think those guys down there are getting ready to tie her up when she arrives. To moor her, to capture the mooring lines and things like that. Yeah, so I decided to get out of the car and have a stretch because I still got quite a long more time to wait, and quite a long time to wait. Presumably it has to offload as well, so there's going to be quite a while. And I need to get a better view, get to stretch my legs. I actually learned today that these places where I'm standing now, you see here, and you can see these railings here for safety, and there's the old safety railings there, which were lower before in the days before the nanny state. These areas are known as the Widow's Walk. It's a rather grim name actually, because it's where people sort of stand when they want to watch ships going in and out, because the wives of sailors used to stand waiting for the ships to arrive, and the ships used to arrive and they said, sorry, your husband died of scurvy or he fell overboard or something. So that's where it got this rather grim name, but they're still sitting there waiting for the ferry to arrive so we can board and go over to the Isle of Man. And it's the ferry arriving. The ferry we're going to go on. Considerably smaller than a new one, but what's it called? Vannon? Manannan. Oh, Manannan. Oh, she's coming in there. We should be able to see her arrive. She's making a turn now to enter harbour. She's going to come to this berth here. Is there another one? Maybe she's going to go to that berth over there. There's actually a third berth along. We'll see in a minute which way she goes. So the water's been disturbed down there. I don't know what that is. It's to do with maybe the displacement of the ship entering harbour. Maybe something like that. I think she may be coming alongside that berth over there. We'll have to wait and see. She's doing a turn anyway. I think she's going to approach a stern. That's our carriage. Our carriage awaits. See our bow thrusters going now. There's manoeuvring thrusters, so she doesn't need tugs. Moving the crane out of the way now. backing down towards us. See the dockers there waiting to tie her up. You see them there? Vehicle ramp now. Yeah, now the vehicle's coming off. You see some cyclists as well. Lamborghini, I think, there. Blimey, gosh. Couple of fast cars there. It's like a... I don't know what that is. Nice car anyway. Very nice car. Here comes another one. Some of the posh cars there. We'll be going on there in a minute, it'll be our turn. Oh, nice, it's a wicked car. Very grand. I think I'm going to get back to my own transport because pretty soon they'll be loading us. So there we go. Like they're starting to board us now. These lorry trailer tugs have been putting the lorry trailers on, and now it looks like they're going to board the motorbikes first. They're telling us all to get ready, so hopefully, yeah, we'll be good onto the ship soon. Okay, we're boarding now. Boarding, here we go. I don't know what LED studio means, by the way. Here we go, we're going to go onto the ship. There's a big, as you saw earlier on, a big ramp has come down. It exposes the vehicle hold, which is where you basically drive straight in and just drive straight off. Seagulls out there are much noisier than seagulls I'm familiar with. Just waiting now. There's a bit of a queue. Apparently there's a very steep ramp, Jackie was telling me, once you get on board. So you got to hold on tight as you go up this ramp. It's all coming back to me. Here we are. That's the ramp you're talking about, Jackie, I think.
There's another road.
Is this is all looking familiar now. It all comes back to me. I used to go to the Netherlands. Much bigger ship though. It was like across the North Sea. There's some horse boxes ahead of us. I don't know how the horses are going to have been down here. Got a horrible image of The Ring in my head. The film. The motorbikes, they went on ahead of us. Is that it? Yeah. The little cleats on the deck, these are what they use to chain the cars down. And here we are now, got to go this way. Once you cross, it says you can't go back to your car once it's at sea. I've got my Harry Hill look at the moment because I've decided to leave my Roswell 75 years of secrecy anniversary hat in the car. I was only lose it if I took it on deck. So here we are. We'll go in here in a minute. It's like the Titanic, isn't it? Look. Might be the Titanic.
It's down there. It's quite nice of us. On the deck.
We've got less than false work in it, which means we're getting to the passenger area. These ships are quite posh actually when you go on board.
Right, we head for the Legends Bar this time, yeah.
Here we are. Fruit machines, look.
This is the bar, and then...
So look in here. Here you can order food and drink in here. Very grand, isn't it? I have a map of the ship here, see? You pause and read this. Bend My Tree, that's what it's called. We're there, and there's sleeping berths as well. Looks like aeroplane seats. Bend My Tree Wi-Fi. I get Wi-Fi on here, can it? There's another lounge area. You can get proper food here, like Alright guys, this is the outside deck of the ship, where you can actually get some fresh air You see the funnel there, and that's the upper vehicle. That's the upper vehicle hold there, which is open. You can get a little bit higher up there, which is nice. And as you can see, the Manxman, which is the new ship we saw earlier, not yet in service. Lifeboats, always got to know where they are. Never know when you might need them. Crew only, okay.
You getting older?
Here we go, so we go, I think we can go up here now, which is nice. See what's up on, we go higher up. Well, a little bit of a higher deck here, get a better view. We're strong winds, caution. It does get windy actually. That's why I'm going full Harry Hill. There's just no point wearing a hat, there's no point you'd lose it. Any hat you had, just be gone. You don't want seats you'll sit in. Lovely landscape all around. Look at the, see the Cumbrian mountains in the distance. And you can look forward here. Nice. Okay, they just raised the ram to the cargo hold, the vehicle hold rather, so I'm fully loaded. Should be departing very shortly. Okay, there's increasing engine noise and the funnel has flared up. As you see, the funnel has started to producing more as exhaust. I'd say this is large marine diesel, this ship, I don't know specifically, probably large marine diesels, and those are the dockers there who are getting ready. I think they're getting ready to cast us off. See, there's a guy there, they're getting ready to handle the lines, and there's a line handler there on deck. So pretty soon, when they cast off the lines, that's it, we're going. Here we go. The funnel is really belching exhaust now. The engine's already firing up. Taking in all lines. I've got the perfect vantage point here, I think. See the heat haze coming off the funnel there. Yeah. There goes one set of lines. One more left.
Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, this is Bridge, Captain speaking. My name is James Wolford and I'd like to talk you on board for this afternoon's crossing to Douglas. We've now completed loading, all our shell doors are closed and secure, and we've just started our main engines and ready to go to sea. Forecast weather winds from the southwest, around a force 4 or 5, so we can expect a comfortable crossing. And now as your safety is of utmost importance, please can I ask you to listen to the following announcement. Thank you.
They've got dogs on, they allow dogs on here. That's one thing you'll never see on Hook Harwich, is dogs on deck. There's a little doggy. That's sweet. Now Jack and Richard's today, I left them down in the lounge. Whoops. I left Jackie and Richard down in the lounge and I told them where I was going. They can join me if they want or catch up with them later. I'll wander around till I find them. It's not a big ship.
the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company vessel, Ben McCree. This is a passenger safety announcement. Please listen carefully.
Oh, here we go.
In the event of an emergency, the general emergency alarm signal will be sounded. This consists of 7 or more short blasts, followed by 1 long blast on the ship's whistle and on the ship's alarm system. If this signal is sounded and you are not already there, you should proceed to Assembly Station 1 in the main cafeteria lounge on Deck 7, or Assembly Station 2 in the Niarbal Lounge, Deck 7, following the advice of crew members and using the directional arrows. The assembly stations can be identified by a square green and white sign with an arrow in each corner pointing inwards to a symbol depicting a family group.
There's other lines you have to be cast off, but basically that's it. Here we go.
A crew member will issue you with a life jacket.
Here we go.
And instruct you on how it is to be worn.
See, we're moving.
You should remain calm and follow the instructions of the crew members in the assembly station. Any passengers who feel they may have a mobility or communication difficulty in the event of an emergency situation are asked to make themselves known to the passenger services officer at the information desk or to any crew member. Please also take extra care when moving around the ship and when passing through doorways or over steps. If you go out onto the open deck, take extra care, especially if the vessel should roll or if the deck is wet. Please do not allow children to go onto the outside decks without supervision or climb any of the ship's rails. The Isle of Man Steam Packet Company is committed to the protection of the environment, and as a result, passengers are advised that nothing must be discarded over the side of the vessel, but placed in the receptacles provided. It is particularly important that cigarettes are extinguished and disposed of safely. Please note that smoking is not permitted anywhere inside the accommodation on board the Ben McCree. Smoking is only permitted on the outside decks. Thank you for your attention and cooperation, and we wish you a pleasant crossing on board the Ben McCree.
Ben McCree. They named it after me.
On behalf of the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company, captain, officers and crew, we welcome you on board Ben McCree. The ocean
More ships over here, look. There's like, I don't know what that ship's for.
Including the toilets on Ben McCree, are strictly no smoking areas. Therefore, smoking is only permitted on the outside deck of the vessel. This includes the use of e-cigarettes. Exits to the outside deck should be marked on the vessel on deck A. If you have any problems or require any assistance, please do not hesitate to contact any information bureau in the main passenger lounge, where you will find the passenger services.
It's been a long time since I've been on a sea voyage. I am now.
Thank you for your attention, and we hope you have a pleasant and comfortable crossing on board Ben McCree.
Yeah, with just wind turbine, of course. Power station there. Who doesn't have a meltdown? We're away. Harbour barrage is actually quite narrow, I think. There's another wall. these clouds. So we won't be coming back this way. We're actually going back via Liverpool, so we won't see this port again on this particular journey. But well, I'm curious to see what it's like to go from Isle of Man to Liverpool, which is what we'll be doing on the way back. Okay, we're heading away now. You can see we're further away out to sea now. On this ship, you do get a view of the forest, so it's unusual on passenger ships, but you do. Now that over there, the land you see over there, believe it or not, I just checked, is actually filed. There's Fleetwood in the distance there. Now that's filed where probe happens. You know, if you go on the other end, on the southern end of that particular piece of stretch of coast, is Blackpool, Lytham St Anne's, and the venue for the Lapis and Probe conferences. Across Morecambe Bay, on the other side of Morecambe Bay, is Fleetwood. You'll see, no, not Fleetwood. You see Barrow-in-Furness. We actually go quite just south of Barrow-in-Furness, probably in about half an hour's time. So I'll be watching that, and I'll go and find the others. But you can just see the coast of Fleetwood there in the distance. So over there we have some. You may be able to see that there's some wind farms, offshore wind farms there, built on little islands. You can't see the bottom of them. So flat earther, how do you explain that? Okay, we just turned in on a new course now. And in the distance you can see none other than, without obviously making much on the viewfinder, there we are, Blackpool Tower. See it? Remnant that somewhere they can see it there somewhere. So I can't see the viewfinder very well, but yeah, that is Blackpool Tower. I must have seen it somewhere. And which is reminiscent of Probe and Lapis, but we're going a bit further afield today. Richard Freeman looking dreamily out to sea with a very meditative expression on his face. Who knows what's good for the brain is. We've changed course a couple of times. Now there's some ship over there I don't recognise. I don't know what that's for, what it's doing, and there's also some kind of fort, or sort of maybe either some kind of fort or oil rig there in the distance. I don't know if you can see that. That might be the one you see out to sea at Lytham St Anne's actually. And we're heading straight towards these wind farms, so we're going to get. I think we're going to pass quite close to them, so that'll be interesting. You see the wind farms there between those two uprights. There's a buoy there, just going past the buoy. I must mark some kind of channel which the ship has to follow. We're passing another ship. Let's see how much of that there is a Stenner-line ship, I think. So that's a Stenner-line. Can't make out much with the viewfinder between us and the wind farms. Yeah, there we are. Coastal freighter, I think. Getting closer, and so is that ship ahead of us between the uprights there. I'm not sure what that is doing. It doesn't seem to be moving. How close we are to the wind farms. They're these little rows of rotating blades. I mean, they're probably bigger than they look actually. We're passing really closely to them. We've seen them for miles away, but there they are.
Oh, we're still a good couple of miles away, aren't we, from those?
The sea's this lovely colour, and it's got patches of darker colour. Not all of them are cloud shadows either. Jackie and I were just asking what they are. We thought they might be seaweed, but we're not sure. Richard's flirting. There is Sea Truck. They said there's a sea truck at Hastings. I think there's a terminal there. I think it may be loaded up with lorries, maybe like a freight, maybe like a freight ferry, or maybe like, certainly lorry truck. Land's almost out of sight now, the mainland. We're passing these big wind farms. There's a huge number of these wind farms, really close to them. And, yeah, there must be hundreds of them. Look, they literally stretch from horizon to horizon. They look really weird, really quite weird. Yeah. I mean, you know, I always call the wind farms bat killers. They're bats, but there are seagulls. And of course, these will all be gone when the Tesla tech gets declassified. These will all be gone, of course. So this may be the last shot you get of them. So if you enjoy this sort of thing, now's the time to do it. Main deck again. I look around down the main outdoor deck. Just looking at these the wind farms. The wind farm here. I don't know if you could count all these wind turbines. There must be hundreds of these turbines. Horizon to horizon. I've just said that, haven't I? Yeah. They go on. They do go along over here a bit. Look. They go all the way up the coast. Bloody hell. I like these little companion ways, I thought. This is the ship I was showing you earlier. I saw it ages ago. It's just sitting there, hasn't been moving. Probably at anchor. I can't exactly see. You can see it better than I can. It's got a crane on. I don't know what it's actually doing. Maybe two ships side by side. Over there's that. There's a platform over there. You may be wondering what this means. I mean, you'll see this symbol everywhere, and you've probably already seen it quite a few places. It's called a triskein, and it's a symbol of the Isle of Man. It's 3 legs, and that's got nothing to do with the alleged inbreeding that goes on there. It's a very ancient symbol, and it goes back, I think, to some time I don't know about, but I'll try and find out for you. But it's on the flag, it's on the coat of arms, it's on all the... It's on everything to do with the Isle of Man, has this symbol on it. The triskein. Thinking about the last sea journey I took, and I told you I'd been with my friend Barry to the Isle of Wight, but I went somewhere else with him later than that. In about 97, I think it was 1997, I went to Ireland, and I went over to Dublin with him, yeah, and then we went to did we go to Cork? I can't remember. Yeah, we went to Cork as well, or to Waterford. Well, sorry, we went to Waterford, and a place called Tramore, which is very nice. I also went a couple of years later with this other guy called Kelvin. I think that might have been the last sea voyage I took. Yeah, that was a bad idea. He was a horrible little man, Kelvin, but Barry, I love Barry. He was great. He was my best friend, as you know, as I've explained. I did that video about when he died last year, but when I've heard that he died, take it easy. It's an amazing sight. Clear blue sea to the horizon, and there's the sky. You can see the sky. Imagine it. It's a sight. How much you can hear me. So I've just seen the Isle of Man for the first time ever. Might get a bit of rain actually. So the first rain of the trip. There's a rain squall coming, so you can see it a long way. And over there, there's a lot of like some disco there. I think. What surprised me was the number of wind farms. I mean, you see, there's still wind farms literally all the way across the sea between the mainland and the Isle of Man. Quite something. Oh yeah, bury bikers. It's a way of life, yeah, bury. Not as in bury them under the ground, bury the place in Greater Manchester. I've seen loads and loads of motorbike stickers on this ship, along with people on motorbikes. The Isle of Man is a huge kind of mecca for motorcyclists. It's a huge mecca for motorcyclists because of the TT races, but there's lots of other motorbike races as well. In fact, there's one here this evening, and Jackie told me actually we might have to take a little detour to go around it, which doesn't really matter because the island's only 17 miles across, so it'd be nice, gives us a chance to see more of it. But we might have to, some of the roads might be shut today actually, so we'll see how we get on. As we get closer, you see more of the dramatic geography of this little island, including the steep cliffs. You see there's some cliffs there in the distance along this coast here, and there's some high mountains and hills. There's a little mast on top of that hill there. So yeah, looking forward to seeing it from the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest. Jeff!
Well,
Hello Jeff.
here we are, back in the Isle of Man again. It's been donkeys since I've been here. Borry and Jim and all the others, but well, back to the old stomping ground. Dear old Jeff, the talking mongoose, my good self, back into Isle of Man, champion.
Nice to see you again, Jeff. We're close enough to see the built-up area now. That is Douglas, and that's where this ship will be docking very soon. Manoeuvring, I thought, how is it going to manoeuvre this tightly? But it can. It's got the bow thrusters, you can split the sticks. These ships can turn on their own length. They can literally rotate. Look at that castle there on the island. That's great. That's amazing, isn't it? There's the terminal. And out there is Douglas, this whole town. It's really large, bigger than I thought. It's Douglas, Manx County. engines are burning much cleaner now, eh? They do after they've been running for a while. There's very little soot now, just you can see heat haze from the exhaust, but very little soot. No visible fumes at all. That castle-like building over there looks good, doesn't it? Look at this, look at that castle there. There's lots of castles here on the Isle of Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, this call is for vehicle drivers and their passengers only. The vehicle decks have now been upgraded. All vehicle drivers and their passengers, please now proceed to the vehicle decks, using either the room or back stairwell, taking all personal belongings with you as you enter the vehicle decks. Please take care as the deck surface may be wet and have weight objects. Be also aware that some cars may have tow bars attached. Do not start your vehicle engine until you are instructed to do so by a member of the deck crew. All foot passengers are asked to remain seated, stay clear of exits, and await a further announcement. Thank you.
I'm not going down there till I've seen the ship dock, which we will in a couple of minutes, so they can bloody well wait. I know where the car is anyway. It's the bottom of the aft companionway, and it's on deck, to car deck 3, which is the bottom of the vehicle hold. So there. That's a strange shaped building. I wonder if that's the building Ross Coulthard was talking about, which has the UFO buried under it. Now that would turn up for the books. They did say it wasn't in the United States. There goes the line. They're taking the line in. They're taking in the line now. And we're here. As you can see, there's a bit of a crowd while we're here queuing for the lifeboats. I mean, queuing to get to the car deck. But we'll get there eventually.
Otherwise you just made your corner made show. So, yeah.
And here we go. We're leaving the ship now. We've won the ramp now. This is on a bumpy ramp. And that's it. We're on the Isle of Man, guys. We've actually arrived.
Look at that.
What's
like
that?
a crown building.
I know that looks like it's got a place that Ross Coulthart might have meant. I was joking myself about that. Where there's an alien trapped underneath it because the UFO's too big to move. This harbour has an amazing looks. You know, it's like castle-like buildings all around it. It's really quite remarkable, but nice. Welcome to the Isle of Man. And there it is in Manx. Oh, they got a WH Smith. Of course, they get everywhere, don't they? We're really going native, guys. You know where our first stop is going to be on the Isle of Man? Tesco's. Mind you, we've got to get some groceries because we're in a self-catering place. Look at those guns there. This is Douglas, the Manx capital. And this is weird, but it reminds me of Copenhagen. It really does. Of course, viewers have seen Copenhagen because I filmed there when I went to speak to UFO Denmark, and you can work out for yourself whether you think that's true or not. But this bit reminds me of the harbour area in Copenhagen, the coloured buildings and things. Well, even slightly Hull, you know, that harbour area in Hull, the marinas in Hull. Those are yachts and things. Old mock Tudor buildings. Well, that's it, guys. That's my first impression of the Isle of Man. Out the car now, and I've taken my first few steps on the Isle of Man. Look at that tree there. Look at that tree. It's a weird looking tree up there, isn't it? Do you see it?
Laser Mayhem Halloween Spooky Wood.
Oh, wicked.
Oh, that tree there, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm at Tesco's in Douglas. What I have done since I arrived, though, is I've seen the Tesco's, but also seen these trees up here, which are some of the most amazing trees I've ever seen. They look like something from Fangorn. They really are incredible. So it's an amazing kind of juxtaposition there of opposites. Tesco's Superstore, mystical ancient woodland. Right, we're just heading now to our little home from home through the country lanes of the Isle of Man. It's actually, there's no speed limit here, believe it or not. Not that Jackie is a reckless driver anyway, but if you don't want to break the speed limit, you could. But maybe we'll have the TT races here. I've already noticed the road signs are slightly different. Like if there are some like local like speeding request things, and they're just like black signs with white signs with black writing. They just say school zone 20 miles per hour, please. So I think most people will go along with that, wouldn't they? It's like just politeness. Okay, we're almost at the place we've hired. Very, very desolate landscape as you see around you. We're actually very close to Jeff's place here, Cashton Glen. This is Erie Cushlan. Look at Richard and I were saying it reminds us of Dartmoor. Look at that, without the sheep wandering across the road. Look at the heather there. And there's that big hill in the distance. There's another one over there. There's some really, really very dense woodland as well we passed. It has a very spooky energy to it. And we're just making our way very slowly along this very poor quality road. Now, to add to the spookiness of this particular, you see there's mist coming in off the sea. Look at that, but you can actually see it physically coming over the land, and that's to add to those really spooky forests I showed you. I'm sorry, I haven't shown you the forest yet. I will do, but there's some really, really spooky looking woodland. The energy here is like, it is electric. We're actually not far from Jeff's place. We'll be going to visit Jeff's place. It's one of the highlights of our trip. And this is just like, oh my god, this is like something from Stephen King. Look, it's literally covering the hillside. My god. And the gate to our accommodation actually has a code, so there's a combination lock, so Jackie's just unlocking it. Look at that, man. It's like a pea super, you can't see anything through it. We've arrived. Look at this. It reminds me of that film Paper House. You ever seen that?
Yes.
That's a brilliant story. This is down. Just give you a 360. This is the only house. There's the derelict ones over there. Look at the sea sky. There's Paul. Greetings. What a place this is. Look, you've got the sea right there, and there's the open sea. This is stunning, man. Hey, how's it going? Hey mate, how you going? I'm a bit stung by this place has got an energy like I've never experienced before, man. Look at the coastline there with all the cliffs and stuff. And look at you can see rain and the sun on the sea. And this is the building itself, and this is like, and I already detect like a similarity in the architecture to the Jeff place, the Jeff house.
Okay, you're right, yeah.
And that's an amazing sight, isn't it? A rain squall, like a curtain of rain, almost like a smoke screen. So we'll experience a rain squall in a minute. We're just unpacking the car right now. I honestly think these two want to move in. The stuff they brought is amazing. I've got a lot of maps luckily of the island, man. I'll just show you where we are. This is Land Ranger, Ordnance Survey Land Ranger Plate 95, Isle of Man. So it's the entire Isle of Man. We're in the southwest of the island, and you can find it very easily if you go to the famous Dawlish Cashen, and we are just off this big road here. Go along here, Dolby, and we're there, Erie Cushlan. And you can see it is very remote. You can tell on this map. There's a lot. Look at the contours. There's a lot of hills around us. It is the most remote island, most remote house on the island. And look here, Paul's got a more detailed map of the area.
Dawlish Cashen is there.
Right.
And we are
Erie Cushlan. So we're very close to where Jeff lives, and indeed Jeff has a lot to say about this house. I'll tell you more about that later, but Jeff actually mentions this particular house as well. Okay, the sun is going down now here at Erie Cushlan. It's very it's hard to describe this place, but it feels like I'm in one of those films, one of those movies, right, where the happy family go and stay in this little cottage in the wilderness, and they get out of the car and they're unloading it and chatting away, and you see the building they're going to be staying in, and suddenly sinister music starts playing. It literally feels like I'm in a movie. Everything here feels very, very charged with energy. I described the woodlands. I'll show you more of the woodlands later. But even the trees are different. Even ones in Tesco's in Douglas. I showed you earlier. We can actually see a bit of land. That's actually the mountains of Mourne, which I think is actually in Northern Ireland. It's in the southeastern tip of Northern Ireland. There's some beautiful mountains. I think that's it. But this is. I'll have to say more about it later, and describe it to you, and show you more of this building, and show you more of the interior. But there's I feel like I do feel very isolated. Well, luckily I'm with friends, with people I can trust. But this is kind of like that. I should expect that from these people, because they are passionate about the paranormal. I mean, I am too, but for them, they're not really into the conspiracy sphere. They're paranormal, ufological people primarily, and they want to live the life that they research. So I'm with them to do that, and it's actually a bit spooky. It's spooky, but it's exciting, and I'm sure I'll have a wonderful reportage for you should I make it out alive. For the time being, look at the hillside there. Paul's been researching this really carefully. He's told us about the graveyard. There's the graveyard of the guy who lived it. He died in the 50s, and it's somewhere up there. There's also a cliff-top path, which apparently is very dangerous, which leads to where the kings of man in the pre-Christian times used to live before the missionaries came here. God, I can't wait to see what this place looks like at night. Oh, the interior of the house. Actually, I'll show you more of the interior later, but it's not what I expected. It's much more comfortable than I expected. I was expecting bare rooms and sort of like iron bedsteads. We got cookers, we got a fridge, we got comfy chairs, carpet. It's a proper self-catering kind of turnkey place, really. And we just a cup of tea. There's a fridge for the wine, and we're now just. I've met them all. Ben Fiddler's here too, but he's sleeping. He's tired. The guy who couldn't eat as much as hard as me. And there's Janet, Paul, and of course, you've already met Richard and Jackie. Apart from the wind blowing, there's just total silence here. Total silence. Birds chirping over in the heather, and that's it. We've got a generator. That building over there contains a generator, which is where our electricity comes from. It's limited. It's very limited. And we got gas. Our kettle is a gas kettle. It is a gas stove kettle, and we have. Apart from that, there's no phone signal at all. We have a landline. I'm gonna have to call my daughter and say, look, this is the emergency number. So yeah, the sky's amazing. The clouds and everything are amazing. You could easily believe you're on an unknown planet here. It's amazing. So more later. The sun is still quite high. I mean, it feels like a kind of eternal twilight here. Now apparently there's a film called The Dark here. It's got Sean Bean, I believe, and it was made in 2005. I'm going to have to watch it now. I'm going to have to watch it. The reason I'm going to have to watch it, because some of it was filmed here. They actually, at least the exterior shots apparently were filmed here. I know some of these guys have actually seen it, but yeah. Silence is incredible. I'll show you the interior of the house later, but basically where we're sitting in, I don't even want to capture it on camera right now, but where we're sitting in the lounge, and as I said, it is a proper lounge with chairs and tables and things. The setting sun is shining in through the windows and it's illuminating us. We haven't got the lights on yet, and yeah, it has proper lights with electricity and things. And it's like, that's like typical. Ever since I come, these things have happened so many times since I've been here. Even I made a cup of tea for Richard, and I put it on the table. There's like a little kitchen table, and I put it on that table, and the smoke was coming off, and it was making weird shapes. The steam was coming off the cup of tea, or the cup of coffee I made for him, and it had weird shapes. This is an incredible place here. I'm gonna have to charge the camera now. Okay, it's completely dark now. Well, there's just a little bit of residual. I think that might be moonlight there. The shadows you can see moving on the ground are actually people inside walking past the window. There's what looks like there's a ship out to sea. It looks like some kind of passenger vessel. That might be Manxman on sea trials. In the way it seems to be sitting there, maybe anchored for the night. There's some lights over there in the Mourne Mountains. There's a down here. There's another flashing light there, which is possibly a lighthouse. And there's another light there. It's silent, quiet, night time here at Erie Cushlin. You know, it's funny, like, so you can't see much of me now. Maybe you can see me better from by the window here. You know, I look very Blair Witch Project like that, don't I? You know how about the odds? Jenny Randalls talks about the Oz factor, where you suddenly come to someone, it's like you're not in the same world and everything, and things are generally weird around you. I can't remember exactly how she defines it, but I feel a bit of that here. In fact, I felt the Oz factor ever since I landed here. I've only been in the Isle of Man a few hours, but I'll tell you what, it does. I feel like I'm in an Oz factor world right now. It's very odd feeling indeed. Anyway, I'll show you more. I'll show you my bedroom later because I'm going to go to bed soon. A bit of moonlight up there for you. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm actually just going to bed now. It's dark here at Erie Cushlin, and Well, this is my. I'm actually in some bunk beds. I have that bunk bed above me. No one's sleeping up there. I'm actually on my own in this room. Well, I've opened the door at the end. I've opened the bedroom door because I don't want to be completely alone. So I want to be able to hear the others and talk, call for the others if necessary. Because I do feel a bit spooked here. I really do. It's my first night on the Isle of Man. I wonder what's going to happen in the night and what dreams I'm going to have. But I'll keep my camera handy anyway, just in case. I've got something interesting to show you. So with that in mind, I'm going to go to bed. It's about 1:45, so night-night. Look at this. Look at it. It's like a big...
Up there, behind the mill, is Crompton Erie Law, which is the mountain.
Right.
And the mist comes off the mountain and flows across.
Oh, that explains what... Right. Welcome to Wednesday morning. This is Erie Cushland here, Wednesday morning. Well, you wouldn't know. It looks like we're inside... It feels like we're inside a giant ping pong ball right now. Because look at the mist here. Jeff called this the place of the mist, and he's right. Apparently, as Paul just explained, there's a hill. There is a hill where all this mist sort of comes off. It's like a little weird climate they have around here. For someone who's lived their whole life in Oxford, this is like really strange. Literally, you can't see to the gate. It's just a few hundred yards away. It's completely... And over there, see, it's even thicker over there. I can't see those ruins. Yeah. Anyway, I survived the night. No zombies, no aliens, no ghosts. So we'll have my morning cup of tea, and then we'll carry on. Things are cleared up a little bit, well, you can still see the mist there. See, we're not particularly, and in terms of our altitude, we're not particularly high. It's not like we're up on a mountain or something, but it feels like it. That feel. You can just see in the distance there. There's the Mourne Mountains over there, County Antrim. There's that County Armagh, Northern Ireland over there. That's our closest point of land here. Okay. So what I'll do is I thought I'd give you a tour of the inside of Erie Cushland, because I'm up a bit early. Most people are either out and about. The other Ben is having a cigarette in a minute, but I'll just come in here a minute. And so you enter here, and the first thing that I feel like is this through the keyhole, isn't it? And here we are in the luxury hotel of someone who is obviously a major media mega star. David, it's over to you now. That guy was so funny. Well, I didn't expect this, you see. And maybe I didn't read the Facebook group well enough, but I was expecting like bare rooms, empty bedsteads. I brought my bleeding sleeping bag. You'll see how redundant it was in a minute. See, there's the stairs up there. I'll show you the upstairs in a minute. You come through here, look at this. We've got a little dining room here with a wicker chair, little ornaments, posh wine glasses. The Isle of Man. Look at these. You've got these things here, little thing for a baby, so Richard can sit in that. And the Isle of Man is an old-fashioned British Railways Isle of Man holiday picture here. I don't know what this is here. This is Erie Cushland Guests. Oh, we've got to sign that before we go, definitely. And look, there's some more here for the Isle of Man. And this is our lounge. How about that, eh? And they've given us binoculars. There's an old camera, and that's just an ornament, obviously. But an old-fashioned camera, reading material, books to read, binoculars. Those will come in handy. It's a telescope, torch. Yeah. You go around here. Someone's put a lapis thing there, just in case you have some passers-by, which is not likely. In here we've got a TV set. We've got a television. How about that? Not that anyone's really... There's more fun things to do than watch TV. We've got an old-fashioned radio. And we've got a router. Yeah, it's a real one. It actually works. I've just been trying it. And there's me saying that... and there's me thinking that, there were cargo cults, and this is going to be like a model made out of bamboo sticks or something. There's some dancing fire thing. Oh, this is music. I think this is traditional music here probably from the Isle of Man. Blending. Oh god, we've got old vinyl discs. Phil Collins, bloody heck. I remember him. And down here we have, look, what's in here? Oh, we got some old. I think we got our Man tourist board material here. Yeah, but I haven't had looks at these. I haven't actually looked in here yet. Where's the Gideon Bible? Oh, the wire, just in case you need to wire up to the router. There's the good old thing. What's it called? Cable. Oh. Right, and we come through here, and there's a kitchen. And very nice it is too. Got a clock there, it works. You won't believe it until I show you the bathroom. And look, we actually have things like a fridge, cooker. There's no electric cooking or heating here because electricity is in short supply because of the generator. It's in moderate supply, put it that way. But we have a toaster, a gas stove, microwave, and fridge, and freezer. Put ice stuff. They've got some ice creams and stuff in there. I don't know if they left that for us. Now somewhere here, something you won't believe. Where is it? The ultimate luxury device, a dishwasher. Oh, someone is actually in the bathroom at the moment, so I'll just show you that later. This is not that kind of video. I'm bored. What's in here? Oh, right, I think that's where they hide the men in black who operate the secret cameras, but we've got wardrobe space, Hoover. And I'll take you upstairs. I'm going to be very quiet now because some people are still asleep. But that's Ben and Gail's room. Janet and Paul. Jackie and Richard. And this is my room. I'm on the bottom bunk there. I don't. It's not a kid's bunk bed. It's adults. It fits me. And I don't need to take the top bunk. Don't mind having to sleep close to the floor because I'm not scared of tokoloshes. It's just, and this is the view of my bedroom. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Go back downstairs. Got these little night lights. They help you get to the toilet at night. Here's the upstairs bathroom. I'll show you this first. It kind of has a bit of the atmosphere of a public toilet, but it's still very, very nice. It's echoey and things like that. And there's the bath, shower, bog, two sinks just in case you like to do these things together. And the shower is not a psycho shower either. It's a proper pull off and real one. So it beats Travelodge in that respect. Okay, back down we go. Now, you can go out the back door here. What's going on out here? It is actually rather windy today. You go out here, around the back. There's actually there's not a garden here, unless you could call the entire outdoors a garden. But there's this kind of back alley. You see here, so you can get to the car park that way. And you go along here. There's your boot wiper, which is come in handy actually. I don't know what that's for. And there you come around here. And you're at the front of the house again. And there's old Ben. Hi Ben. Yeah. I'm not unique, there is another Ben in this world. And yeah, the water, I say electricity, there's a generator. You can dry your clothes there. Whew. Although if you try drying your clothes today, I think they get blown away. Yeah, so I wouldn't try drying your clothes today. I just better lock this because there we go. There we are. There's so many doors and windows here, it's hard to keep up with them. I've just been editing not editing, just reviewing yesterday's videos. So There is Wi-Fi here, as I said, it works, but you can't get a mobile phone signal, and so. But there is the landline. I showed you the landline. I've been trying to. I've sort of left. Actually managed to leave a voicemail for my daughter, just telling her that this is actually the landline phone, so she can reach me if she needs to. I don't know what that fella's for. I don't know what he's doing here. Now that's very interesting. I'll tell you more about that later. It's Paul's. It's something Paul is doing. You can. There's no mobile phone signal here at all, and I didn't think of that. Most people just don't think of these things these days. But there is a Wi-Fi. I managed to leave a mobile phone message for my daughter, just telling her, look, this is the number you can call me on in an emergency. Because I do. You probably know this already, but I'm paranoid about being away from my daughter. It's kind of like I know she's 28. She's not a little kid. She'll be 30 years old soon, but I still feel very sort of like, what's the word? A bit overprotective, maybe. Just the way I am. So I managed to leave her a voicemail. But there is like I say, Wi-Fi. The electricity is from that generator I showed you, which has plenty of fuel in it. I think it's a diesel generator. I'll be able to show it you later. Water comes from a borehole, which is they say almost apologetically, this is not chlorinated or fluoridated. Yeah, like I'm going to complain about that, a conspiracy theorist like me. So yeah, and the sun's come out. There's no drains here; it just flows into a septic tank. They just say, please don't throw anything down there except toilet paper. Okay, right you are. Now the shower is vacant, the bathroom shower, so I'll just show you. That's a bit steamy in here now. But look, this is amazing. Look, here's the bog and toilet. Here's the bog and sink. And okay, I'll just say here, I'll put a HP for hospital porters. There we go. Big HP, hospital porters. And this is our shower, which is, look at this. It's like a massive shower. Look, it's warm in here. This water's lovely and warm. But look at that. You have the choice of the psycho shower or the detachable. Not many showers give you that. 2 heads, do they? Oh my God. And it's even got these ultimate luxuries. It's got like a towel radiator. Can you believe it? Why did I pack my sleeping bag? That's absolutely redundant. It's like packing a tent when you're going to go and stay at the Ritz. I made a lovely place. I'm really, like I say, it's got a bit of a dark atmosphere, but I'm really enjoying myself here already. So, I'm not sure what we're doing today. Paul and Janet have gone off somewhere to do something in terms of their investigations. I don't know what the rest of us are going to do. We'll find out. Okay, guys, we're leaving Irikushlan now. We'll be back later. We're gonna go into the city. It's called Peel. It's a city by Manx standards, but small town by anyone else's. And we're going to head there now. So maybe I'll get a chance to show you some of that woodland. It's really quite remarkable. Ladies and gents, just look at that woodland. Now you probably can't get a feeling from the video about how incredibly atmospheric this woodland is compared to any other forest I've seen. It's extraordinary, and there's some more. There's some more examples here in the south of the Isle of Man, where I've been so far, and it's really, really quite extraordinary. If my voice sounds funny, it's because this road is very bumpy. But look at it, it's like it is Lord of the Rings, like it's like Fangorn, or it is like Fangorn, or one of the other woods in Lord of the Rings, Mirkwood or someone. Well, this is like a housing estate here on the Isle of Man. I'll show you one later. We found out that the phone boxes are red with green tops. That's a Manx thing. Lots of bungalows. I've already noticed like architectural styles. Like for example, Irikushlan has the same architectural style as Cashin Glen, where Jeff lived, and that's probably a Manx feature. The way they build them. Although the Voirie's house, the Irving's house, is like very jerry built. It was demolished in the early 70s. But another thing about if you ever come to the Isle of Man, I think one thing you need to look up is realise is motorbikes are everywhere. If you're a driver and you're on the Isle of Man, motorbikes everywhere. This is the island of the motorcycle. And as I explained earlier, there's a big motorcycle culture here. The stickers all over the boat, you know, Bury Motorbike Club and things like that. They all come here. This is a mecca for motorcycle fans, and I think they probably cause a bit of a stink with the drivers. And rather like what if you remember when I went to Denmark, the guys from UFO Denmark told me, you know, cyclists everywhere in Copenhagen, they don't look where they're going, they drive really fast, and they just don't stop for traffic lights or anything. Just watch the cyclists wherever you go. And I think probably on the Isle of Man, motorbikes are the same. I think the bane of road users, pedestrians and cars alike. And here we have I'll just show you a bit more of this town of Peel, which we're in. And you're just wandering around. Cowley Pharmacy. Oh my god. There's a Cowley on the Isle of Man. Oh, little blast from home there. Yeah. It's a cute little place. Narrow roads, pastel coloured houses. Yeah. And welcome to Peel, P-E-E-L. And we start off with the marina here. Again, it reminds me of Copenhagen. It's a nice little area, like Douglas, only smaller. I'm not in Harry Hill mode today. I've got my Roswell 75 years of secrecy hat on, and we're going to go and find our friends here. Gail and Ben are here somewhere.
Did you go camping in Copenhagen?
No, I stayed. They put me in a youth hostel.
Oh right.
I told them they didn't need to. I mean, someone's settee would do it for me, but the UFO Denmark, they like to look after people.
No camping in Copenhagen.
Nah. No. It's, I wouldn't have minded, but it was actually January and it was very cold, bitterly cold. February. It was February actually. Both months are very cold there. There's ice everywhere, man. Snowed a bit. Yeah, but look at the landscape around us. We'll show you the sea in a minute. And there's another thing you often get a lot of in Isle of Man: ruined castles. If you like that sort of thing, you'll love the Isle of Man. Here we go. And yeah, I had a little I should tell you a story actually. I was going to tell you this earlier. More motorbikes. You know, I know not many of you read Hapanwo Voice, but I can tell you a little story. Well, I wrote it on Hapanwo Voice back in 2020 to warm the cockles of your lockdown hearts. In all the misery that the COVID lockdown produced, there was a few bright sparks, a few beacons of hope, and one of them was the most wonderful, sweetest, romantic story that you've ever heard. It features a young chap from Scotland who was given special permission to go to the Isle of Man to do some work because he was a builder and he needed to fix a roof somewhere. He went into self-isolation, vaccinated, stuff like that, and then he went across to the Isle of Man on a special service, on a special ferry service. While he was over here, he met the girl of his dreams, fell in love, but when he was only over here 2 weeks, and then he had to go back to Scotland. And he said, when am I going to see my darling twin flame soulmate again? And the authorities said, after the lockdown, sir. So he was basically, they had a telephone Skype relationship like, and then it got too much for him, and he illegally entered the Isle of Man, which got him a month in jail because the Isle of Man this island was on complete lockdown. And the way he did it was he sailed to the Isle of Man. He arranged his own transport to get to the Isle of Man. He sailed across the sea in a jet ski to get here. And he says, so from the south shore, this is basically the closest Isle of Man is to the mainland, the south shore of Dumfries and Galloway. He sailed on his jet ski across to the Isle of Man, and that is like... And would I do that if I was in love? Absolutely. Absolutely I would. But I would get myself a proper boat. I mean, a long ocean voyage like that on a jet ski. I mean, you saw the sea yesterday from the ship. I mean, it's utterly, utterly reckless. And he's lucky to be alive. jet skis are not designed to cross open ocean like that. And yeah, he was very foolish of him to do that. But he did live to tell the tale. And well, he's out of jail. I wish him and his darling partner all the best. I hope they are very, very happy together. But I just thought that cheered me up, you know. It really cheered me up. And here we are, busy, but these are like fishing boats, I think. They're amazing. Curiosity, these, I bet you didn't know this, right? These boats are called Nickies. This is a Nicky.
All right.
Right, that is a Manx word for a fishing boat. And there's lots of them around here. There's a fishing industry here on the Isle of Man. Where did you learn that, Ben? Oh, it was Call My Bluff. That's that old TV show. My grandmother used to like it, where they define strange words.
Robert Robinson.
That's right. Yeah, that's taking it to go back a few years, isn't it?
Robinson. Yes, he also used to do Ask the Family. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I did. That was when.
This question is for oldest child only.
And there was Arthur Marshall and Frank Muir, these two really posh guys, and who would be banned today for being white men and old. Yeah. And there is an old castle. Look at that.
Dolphin sculpture.
Oh, there's a dolphin. You know, hopefully we'll be seeing some of those later. I won't spoil the surprise. That'll be coming up in a couple of days. Should just notice something interesting. What's that there, Richard?
That's where all the fish go to get pissed up.
The fish bar, of course, yes. They swim in there and they go. That was a lovely mollusk we ate the other day, wasn't it? Oh yes, that's it. And this looks like there used to be something here that's broken, and well, it looks like Peel is like Venice because it has gondolas.
Last year, when we say last year, those gondolas had dragon heads on them.
Oh, they're dragon boats. Dragon boats. Oh, cool. Maybe they have dragon boat races around here.
Yeah, but they've gone now. But they had a red one and a green one.
When the Isle of Man gets the Olympics, which it probably will one year, expect to see dragon boat races in the bay. And this here is a novelty litter bin to stop pollution in the ocean. There you go. That's a good idea, I think. Now Richard has noticed something else. What is that then?
He's with the Woolwich.
Right, sure. There you go. And that's the best advertising imaginable, isn't it? Have like some local wildlife there. There's a razorbill. Jackie's just been telling me about that. He's diving down to get something. There's some also over there. You might not have seen them, but there are a couple of like marine ducks. I don't know what species, but this is probably a place I think probably bird watchers would like as well. So yeah, some more Nickies. And don't get in a fight with the drunk fish, Richard. Oh, now this is a bit of something I don't like. That is the ridiculous, laughing, fake Celtic Union flag, which is just stupid. I'm not going to rant about that again. Just watch my video called "Why I Am Not a Welsh Nationalist," and it will tell you everything you need to know. Here we go. We're just driving through Isle of Man. We left Peel. We're trying to find a petrol station. We seem to be short supply here on the Isle of Man. But the other cars are driving, so I assume some exists. And we're heading for Port Erin. This here is spooky, ladies and gents. There is literally, looks like steam is coming off the road. It's actually mist, which is coming in again. And we're now going into it. Visibility could drop pretty low. Guys, we're inside. It's like being inside a ping pong ball here. Look at that. You can hardly see a dozen feet. This is what this place is like in terms of climate. Look at that, man. Look, there's nothing much to see. It sort of comes and goes in patches. It's thinning out a bit. The landscape is incredible. There's a big gap in the hills here. And look at this view. It's incredible. This reminds me a bit of the Brecon Beacons actually, from when we went to Wales last. Look at that.
These are new brake pads, by the way. That is a bit of grit.
They're certainly adding. They're certainly. Look at that. It's a gap in the hills. Look at that. Wow, look. And there's the sea on both sides. I think we're coming near the southern tip of the island, so we're in the right direction. Alright guys, hello, welcome to Port Erin. This is right on the southern tip of the Isle of Man, and we need to know very desperately now where there's something called a bakeaway, because they have some secrets about cryptozoology. You see here all the various different things you can get. It includes burgers and chips and Bigfoots. See that? Now we're wondering how they know. So we're going to find a place and we're going to ask if they have any Bigfoot stew in the pot, a bit like in my serial, The Obscurati Chronicles. We'll see. Isle of Man has its own railway, an old steam railway. Look, there's your steam locomotive. And there's the coaches. How about that, eh? Don't see many of those around. Don't know if I'm going to get the chance to take a ride on that. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, heading off now. Way, hey, the Manx are based. Nexus. Nice to see that. Alright, this is Port Erin Beach. And there's an island there in the distance. That might be the Carfer Man, which is like a small island off the southern coast of the Isle of Man. Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's very sharp. Listen, I do believe it's like a gypsy caravan down there. Can't see many. It looks like it's made out of an old beer barrel or whiskey vat. This looks almost continental, this seafront. Look at the size of the buildings there. That's not the Carfer Man Island. I might try to verify that later.
We're on the seafront now. We're on the seafront.
That might actually be the coast of Ireland. I'll try and verify that later. Well everyone, we've left Port Erin now and we're heading back to Peel. When we get to Peel, apparently we're going to do a ghost hunt. I'm not sure exactly what that involves, we'll soon find out. Alright ladies and gents, we're back in Peel, and it looks like this was actually shut, this gate, because this was a swing bridge. Yeah. I think there was a boat going in with a high mast. I didn't know that, but where's... Oh, the boats are going, the Viking boats are going. Very cool, look. We saw them moored earlier on. There's the Viking longboat.
I haven't got the dragon head on them at the moment.
No, not yet.
I've never seen anything before.
There we go. I don't know, is this a swing bridge?
I've just seen it.
How does it work then?
15 minutes, and I said, oh, we could have popped to see more.
There you go.
I should have
There
known.
we go. Anyway, guys, we're going to meet up. We're going to find the fiddlers. Oh, sorry. I mean, are we going to find the fiddlers or fiddle the finders? Yeah. Either way, we're going to do one of those two things, then, and then we're going to go on a goat hunt. Yeah. Did I say goat hunt? Ghost hunt. In Oxford, there are like two in the entire city. There are like two public toilets, and usually one or both of them are not working. Here in a little place like Peel, there's three. I've seen already. They're everywhere. Lots and lots of public toilets. It's really, really amazing. Amazing difference between the UK and the Isle of Man. We should look into the place where we start our ghost hunt now. This is incredible, right? Look, after showing you that Celtic Union flag, that ridiculous Celtic Union flag, this building here called Celtic Gold has here the whole Celtic sextumvirate. Was it septumvirate? I don't know. It is the septumvirate, 7. And as I explained before, well, it's actually 6. They've got 2 Welsh flags. As I explained before, what you're looking at here is a political and historical fiction, which simply means poor old us. Let us sit around in a circle and be victims and feel sorry for ourselves. That's what it means. And the real harm that's done by that kind of self-pitying culture is it disarms them from other enemies. So, as I've explained many times before, Wales and Scotland, they'll be sucked into the European Union. Why? But at least they're not the bloody English. Same with Ireland and all these other so-called Celtic nations. Yeah. I'm a Welsh boy saying that as well. We're now waking our way through the streets to find the start of our ghost hunt. Well, we've reached our destination, the Wesleyan Centenary Hall, built 1875, as you can see, which is quite a long time ago. It's actually a theatre, and apparently, so I hear, I don't know much about this, but apparently this is where we're going to be doing our little ghost hunt tonight. Or I hope it doesn't go on all night. I'm not a Don Phillips, I need my beauty sleep. But we will be doing a ghost hunt of some description this evening, once our friends turn up. That's Paul Janet and Ben and Gail Fiddler, and then onwards and upwards. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is it. We're actually inside the theatre now, and we've met up with two people from Manx Paranormal. This is a local group, and we are and they've just given some information about this particular theatre, about how they have seen strange phantom figures, like full-bodied special entities. One was humanoid in the corridor outside, and there was a small, like a white being, a white coat, almost like a creature with a sheet over him, like a kid pretending to be a ghost, about 2.5 feet tall, walking across the top row by the top row of seats. And so we were now exploring the place, and several people have EVP recorders out. There's this chap who managed to capture orbs. I don't have a kind of plan for research here. I'm just sort of tagging along. But we're having a lot of it's more like a sort of conversation, really, a meeting rather than a serious research project. But it's very interesting. These people have said this is a very, very haunted location. So yeah, we're. It's very interesting. So there's Richard there talking to one of the guys up there. Yeah. There's typical like little community theatre. There's your piano there, grand piano, and the seats here. And there's they found something out in the corridor outside.
My uncle was the same. My uncle can't believe it at all.
They went down here, and apparently there was they saw like this figure out here, just walking across, and then they got video of it. I think quite something. So guys, one of the Manx Paranormal people, he uses a method called I forgot what it's called actually. It's where you have like these electronic stick figures that fit around your body, and in fact they are used for computer games. You may remember in one of the probe conferences I interviewed that lady who uses that method. Do you remember, like a black lady? I can't remember which probe conference it was, but it was definitely one of the probe conferences. And what happens is these electronic stick figures are appearing when there's no one there. They're just appearing and they're forming when there's no one there. The software is designed to look for the humanoid shape and then superimpose this glowing matchstick man image on top of it. But it's just appearing where there's no one apparently there. This is a gentleman using EVP. So. This is this backstage room here.
Do you mind just being in here?
Yeah, so all of these people have
People have formed here.
He's always missing a fiddle.
Has he?
He's very secret as well.
I'm one of those, I wander off. Yeah, he's always wandering off.
I almost got through that room in the dark and you walked in. And I think you jumped.
Apparently there's been some activity in this little room as well. And there's like the dressing room, you see is the mirrors of the dressing room with the lights on and stuff. There we go.
Paranormal in the Isle of Man.
Amazing.
So, am I alright to mention this?
Of course, please do, yeah.
And would it be alright to use a still from
You whatever you want, I'm here to help.
I will credit you absolutely for it.
You take whatever you want. You know, at the end of the day, we're all in this for the same reason, aren't we?
Yeah.
You
Some
know,
people-
so
People, yeah.
Some people get, you know,
no,
they don't
no,
want you to.
I certainly won't. No, you take
I'm doing the
whatever
same for my Panmo TV, which is on my own YouTube and other video channels.
Perfect.
So okay, thanks very much.
Absolutely fine, no
It's
problem.
been very interesting.
I'm here to help. You know, any paranormal people, I'm here to help.
You know, I've only got in my bag before, but I've not got here his bill off his cards. Have you got one? Oh, yeah.
You found anything interesting here this evening?
Right.
Yeah, got a few things, good few orbs and stuff. I've seen someone
Like
walking past trying to get me. And as I walked up onto the...
Would you like to put you on the Panmo TV? Is that alright? Can I put you on?
Yes, of course you can, yeah.
What's your name?
Darren
Oh, it's
Hardaker.
nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And you showed me some of the methods you use.
Yeah, I just usually walk in and I can just sense it straight away. Passed down through the families and stuff. My granddad used to do a spiritualist church in Manchester. My gran used to do the card reading for people. My mum did. And obviously I can sense things and see things. And actually my daughter, I discovered when she was very, very young that she could do the same.
Oh,
So
it does tend to run in families.
yeah. But I can see, I see things sometimes. I've seen stood next to this lady to her left, which was my
That was
right.
up on stage.
Yeah.
What did it look like?
Just a person, just stood watching, wondering what we were doing. But the top was wanting to get my attention, the top left. It kept moving out and going back, moving out. Now if it's something that doesn't want your attention, it usually does a small section you would see of it. And if you blink you would miss it. But this repeated it. To me that was saying, look at me, wanting some attention. They often do. And I find that when you can sense them, they want your attention more. And I've actually had them numerous times follow me home.
Are you aware that some of the critics of your methodology would say, for example, that the orb photographs are simply reflections of pieces of dust and other
Yeah,
things
it could
in the
be any
atmosphere?
particles, inert particles, which are inert particles, are reflective particles. Helium, krypton and neon.
Can you tell the difference between one and the other?
Yes, you can. Because certainly with the decent picture of orbs, you've got static going off them. Because as we know, an orb is energy. What we believe is to be an orb, you know, if people choose to believe that, it's up to them. But it is an energy.
I find they're different shapes. I find that
I've got them different colours, different shapes. I'm quite happy to show you some on my phone.
The reflective ones the digital artifacts tend to be circular and quite simple in structure. There's a guy I know actually who takes he regularly gets like a shape, very very complicated shapes in like animals and geometric shapes and things like that. That's very interesting. Would you like to show? Can I?
Yeah, I'll just find them.
Yeah, sure.
First. I've got different coloured ones actually. I've blue, yellow. I've had them floating, follow me down the corridor. I've got such large ones as well. Someone said, "Oh, have you got the moon in that photo?" And I'll show you the photo, and I said, "It's not the moon.
No, it's
It's a graveyard, some others."
we always know what shape the moon is and where it's going to be in the sky.
Well, because I said that's the moon there. That was an interesting one. That was in between. I'll just come out and find the other one. Now I've got this particular guy who's saying he had a sore throat.
Oh, it's right by his throat.
Yeah, he had a sore throat.
Is that like almost like a face in there? Seems like a little face. Yeah.
Now I've got some good ones with Mike. See the static around them, as you can see.
Yeah.
Now I did have an unusual thing. Now this was behind me in the window, a figure.
Yeah. That reminds me of there's a guy called Nick Hayes. I don't know if you've heard of Nick Hayes. He takes photographs a bit like that with his weird shapes.
Anything with mirrors and windows, I take a photo. Now this was a weird one because they said, "Oh, it's reflecting off the glass." So there's no glass. It's broke.
I can see the shards around the side.
Yeah, you would think that until you notice.
And I said, "No, there's no glass. It was broke."
It's like a mist.
Yeah, and it literally was appearing. Now that's not this.
Oh yeah.
The size of that one, absolutely huge it was.
Yeah.
Close up of it. I've got the coloured ones. I'll find the coloured ones next. Oh, this was weird. I could sense something next to one of the people in the group, your group, and I said, "It's next to you. It's next to you," and they didn't believe me. it started to manifest itself. Can you explain that?
Very strange, that, yes. That's very odd. Yeah.
You know Paul Devereaux, the Earthlights guy?
Hey, alright.
He writes about Earth.
Followed me down the corridor. And the blue one.
He was reckoning...
Thanks, Darren. Thanks very much.
Those things behave like cells.
There might be something up on the stage. Something's there. Looks like you're getting some kind of reading.
Yeah, it's mapping a person out on the piano.
I can't look.
So I was trying to get you all into the lease as well.
Yes, is it SLS?
Yeah, structured light sensor.
Yeah, this thing I told you about the SLS. It's detected a human figure on the piano stool. See the piano stool there.
So like 100 years ago when prostitutes were out singing there.
There's no one, I can't see anyone there.
And thrown into the
There's nobody there.
Yeah.
It's a dungeon basically, it's underneath. It's horrendous, it really is atmospheric.
Could you...
Can you show yourself, please?
Roy, you open, run it. I phoned him when we got
What's that?
it over and he's not.
Well, did you make that red light?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my camera.
Right.
Yeah, debunked.
Fair enough, yeah. Could you press one of the keys of the piano?
Really atmospheric.
You don't have to play a tune, just to press one key.
Do you want to switch the lights off for a minute? Yeah.
If that might help, yeah, cheers.
I'll probably remember where the lights are.
Could you show yourself to me on my camera? Let me just communicate with you. It's very strange. Darren picked up, as you saw, Darren picked up an outline of someone there.
Can you hear her? Are you talking about Dan? Who were you supposed to hear? Could you tell me, please? Is it a performer? Or is it piano? Next to the piano.
Right, oh, yeah, I see it. That was where that light was, where the outline was. Yeah, on the organ stool, on the piano stool. Let me know if anything happens later. Next to you.
Can you put your hand out towards the lady, Janet?
Can you see that, mate? Can you see that? The one on the right is Janet. That's Janet.
Let's go downstairs, yeah. We first got downstairs, you're right.
Yeah. Give it a go.
Let's see what happens. See what happens now.
Gone. Oh no. Stay there. Oh, so they're at the top. Has picked them up. No.
The theatre now, and that was very interesting actually. That was an interesting set. They turned all the lights off at one point, but there wasn't an enormous amount of response from him. But Darren still has to go through all the soundtrack he recorded, and sometimes things appear even then, and you know, and all the video footage and stuff like that. Yeah. It often comes out in the editing afterwards. Actually, where's this pub?
No, where they've gone.
Oh
What's it called?
We're going to a pub called the Creek.
The Creek, right. Okay.
All right, so wherever that is, that's where we're going. If we can find it.
It's over the